Getting a little bit of a late start on the drive at 5 here, but into the second half of the show. Mark Paulette and Ernie Clark back with you for hour number 2 on this Monday edition of The Drive. Talking Red Sox, talking Patriots coming off their preseason opener since we were last with you. Talking all kinds of things here as we make the turn into The Drive at 5, brought to you by Bangor Mall Cinemas, Greater Bangor's favorite hometown theater for over 40 years. Bangor Mall Cinemas features luxury recliners and an upgraded food menu. Find showtimes and reserve your seat at yourneighborhoodtheater.com. Also brought to you by Fat Panda Boba Tea and Market on Harlow Street in Bangor next to Goslin's Bakery. Sip fresh boba, explore snacks, ramen, and their tasty Jamaican patties. In this hour of today's show, we'll have a Sip of the Roast coming up in the next segment. Jordan Stevens making an announcement on the morning roast this morning, quite notable to University of Maine football's cause, which is kicking off the 26th season here in about a week and a half's time, right here on the ticket, I should add. We'll also talk about the FSG portfolio, their crown jewels, one of them maybe snatched away by Mr. Bezos here in the next 12 months, should he want it. But right now, let's start off this hour, just a couple minutes here in this opening intro segment, Ernie, but I don't know about you. I'm sure it's the same case. Anytime I've opened up social media in the last week, all I've seen is the Cooper Flagg tour around the Greater Bangor area here because he's been back in the area hosting basketball camps both at UMaine and in VZ, hosting a golf tournament over at Bangor Muni last week. That was kind of my first tipping off that he was in the area because we were off Thursday and Friday last week. My brain at that point was turned off to sports mode. I thought Wednesday night, let's book a tea time at Muni, get the membership this year, enjoy a nice relaxing Thursday of golfing, and there was just not the opportunity. The website was shut down. I was like, oh, something big must be going on here. Then I found out what it was, the Flagg tournament, and thought, that's about 1,000 person crowd that I'm going to go find a different course for the day.
You don't want them all watching you play.
No, that's when the score goes from mid-80s to about 120 real quick.
Yeah. No, it's kind of interesting. He comes back, he comes back when he wants to come back, right? I mean, it's
the beauty of being
the off season and
19-year-old number one pick.
Yep. Had the camps scheduled. He and his brothers, Ace and Hunter. It's the third year of them doing it. It seems like it expanded this year. You mentioned 2 sites. One night at Matt McKenzie's gym. I can't remember the name, but in VZ, and then you mentioned up at the University of Maine, and a ton of kids as usual come up there to get their pictures taken and watch have Cooper dunk over him.
Yeah, really. Dribble around him, dunk over him. Did see one kid that got in there and stole a ball from him when he was kind of doing a dribbling routine between 3 or 4 of them, had his eyes occupied in different directions, and one kid was able to get in there and snag it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you just surprised. It had a lower center of gravity. He got to the ball a little quicker.
Got down there.
You think about a kid like that. That's a life memory.
That's a story for the rest of your days.
Heck, if I played for Brewer High School during their freshman year, I'd have that as a memory, too, because we're the only guys from here that beat him. Exactly. Beat him very early in the season. Lost to him a couple other times, including in the regional tournament final, I believe. It was the East and Northern Maine final down in Augusta. But, I mean, that's they don't take too many losses, particularly Cooper. And he's having fun. And, people, I think, are largely willing to kind of leave him alone a little bit to do his thing. It's not just a constant, wave of autographs and pictures. And there are people that ask for pictures, no doubt. But
if you're going to be a number one pick phenom, Maine's probably a good place to do it from because it's a relaxed community to come back to.
I mean, you would think it would almost be harder just because he's one of a kind in that sense. Whereas other places, it wouldn't be quite the big deal to have the number one draft pick cruising around the city or the neighborhood.
Mainers are still good about kind of giving that respect that isn't quite there in other reaches of society.
Yeah, we do. I mean, there's always exceptions to every rule, but I think for the large part, he's not like he's hiding or has to hide.
Not at all.
He can go out and
he was at
play
the concert,
golf.
I think, Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, put it this way: all he has to do to find out where he's been is to look on Facebook, because there are pictures of everything he does, and I guess he's okay with that. So I don't know when when it comes time to have to go back and start to focus on basketball. I guess it's probably October or September in terms of Dallas. Yeah. Although his new coach, Dusty May, was up here over the weekend.
It looked like he had a whole Maverick squad with him, trainers and just basketball personnel up here based on some of the footage that's out there, because I think he had like some people tailing him doing his own social media content stuff, but also the Mavericks had social media people there with them.
Hey, you know something? If you're in Dallas, or I'm not saying anything bad about Dallas, but if you're in any other part of the country, it's not the worst thing in the world to spend a week or so, near the Maine coast, get a lobster and
not at all
that kind of stuff. So, he's good.
Each other's back there.
Cooper Flagg is good for the Maine economy.
Yes,
including as well as his own. But he's definitely bringing attention to
fly some of those oil people on up here.
These are the dog days of summer, and we had big stories going on up here.
Yeah, we did. An active time here in the local sports scene with Cooper and Ace blowing through the area here. Their basketball camps and everything over the course of the last week or so in central Maine. The Drive brought to you by Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience. Also brought to you by Uno Pizzeria and Grill. Big news at Uno's at 725 Stillwater Avenue in Bangor. The new Pizza Pass is just $99 per person. September 5th through November 13th. Enjoy all-you-can-eat deep dish plus house or Caesar salads. Passes go on sale August 20th, but hurry, they'll sell out fast. Sign up at mypizzapass.com and use your daily pass. There is something that I have not yet heard of. You hear about that with like movie theaters getting in on deals, but a pizza pass, $99, and then for basically 2 months, just
you can eat as much as you want.
Go to town.
Can you take out? I wonder. Or if you have to, do you have to eat it there?
I don't know. We might have to get some information on that. Yeah. But if you can take it out,
oh my goodness,
$99 for basically 2 months worth of meals.
Yeah,
I don't know where else is giving you that kind of option.
A lot cheaper than the grocery store.
It really is. The Drive also brought to you by Novus Auto Glass. Call Novus today at 945-6688 to get your windshield repaired or replaced. When we come back, we get you that sip of the roast, and we'll keep talking some local sports here because the fall season, believe it or not, kicked off today. Sip of the roast right there. Jordan Stevens, UMaine football coach, making the announcement this morning on the roast with Brian Sullivan and the crew as to who will be QB1 when the Black Bears open up the season 1 week from Thursday night right here on the ticket. Eddie Bueller, redshirt sophomore quarterback, 6'3", who has yet to see any game time for the Black Bears, but in about a week and a half, he'll be doing that under center when the 26th season kicks off. That's Sip of the Roast, and the rest of today's Drive brought to you in part by your local family-owned McDonald's on Main Street and Union Street in Bangor, as well as Wilson Street in Brewer. August incentive, download the McD app for the first time, set it up, and get a Big Mac for free with a purchase of $1 or more. Don't forget to put that Big Mac in your cart. Also brought to you by Tossie's Checkout. They are calling all Sasquatch seekers to the second annual Glenburn Sasquatch Calling Contest, Saturday, August 29th, 1 to 5. At 1492 Pushaw Road in Glenburn, the winner will take home a $100 cash prize, plus those legendary bragging rights. Bring your crew, bring your call. We'll see you at Tossie's Checkout, and we're brought to you by Casella. Good pay, good people, good life. Find your place at powerofhardwork.com.
Just looking at Eddie Bueller here. 6'3", 223, redshirt sophomore from North Kingstown, Rhode Island. Went to high school at Phillips Exeter Prep School. Has been on campus for 2 years now. Yeah. Redshirted as a freshman in 2024 and did not appear in any game action last year, but was named to the CAA Academic High Honor Roll. Quite a few honors from his high school career. Prep school, all NEPSAC, which is the private school league. First team in 2023 in Class A. First team Rhode Island, all division and all state player. So he's had a chance to kind of certainly get comfortable with the program and then get comfortable with the university as well, and comes in with no varsity experience, so to speak, at the college level, but he's been around college football for a couple of years, and that has to work in his favor, I would think.
And like you talked about last year, learning behind the same guy the last 2 years, Carter Peavy, so Maine was able to have that holdover for a couple of seasons at the position. You have this guy who, like you said, despite no on-field action, he's got to be pretty comfortable with where the offense is, obviously. I mean, he won the job going back to spring camp at this point, and it starts off here quickly for the Black Bears, which, as you were talking about, Ernie, during the break here, Another tough start to the season for Maine. The Road Warriors back at it here in a week and a half.
Yeah, indeed. 4 of the first 5 games on the road, opening at Towson down in Maryland on the 27th of August. Towson was 6-6 a year ago, so they were kind of right there with Maine. I don't know if they played or who they. I didn't have a chance to look that up, but they were both right around the 500 mark in the league last year. And then it's FBS time. Appalachian State down in Boone, North Carolina.
Cha-ching.
That's also App State's first game of the season, by the way. That coming on the 5th of September. And then their first home game against Merrimack on the 12th. It says 5 o'clock start. I'd have to look that up again. And then it's Boston College down in Chestnut Hill on the 19th. And Elon, which is picked to finish 3rd in the CAA, they come up down in another trip to North Carolina on the 26th of September before they start playing small home games. Sacred Heart, a first-year team in the league, is the second home game of the season for the Black Bears, coming up in early August. Just to kind of go over this.
October, right?
October, I'm sorry.
And you said Maine picked, what, 7th in the
Maine's picked
preseason
7th
poll?
in the Towson is 6th, and Maine is 7th. I'll just go down through the top 7 or 8. It's remarkable how the league has changed in the last decade or so. URI, Rhode Island, they've gone 11-3 the last 2 years, won the conference title last year. They are the unanimous number one pick in the CAA this year. They also picked 7th in one of the national polls. Monmouth picked 2nd in the conference, 22nd in a national poll. Elon is 3rd. New Hampshire is 4th. Both those teams received votes in the poll I was able to check out. Stony Brook 5th, Towson 6th, Maine 7th. The other teams in the league, 8th through 13th, are Campbell, Bryant, Sacred Heart, Albany, NC, North Carolina A&T, and Hampton.
We've been a lot of additions, but many subtractions from what you remember in recent years. Like the list you were going through during the break, and it was just now FBS school after FBS school that 10 years ago, 20 years ago was taking on Maine in the CAA.
Yeah, this would have been 16 years ago. I went back just and picked 2010, just to pick a year.
Yep.
And the teams in the CAA at that point, also known as the Colonial Athletic Association,
had a different name to it too,
included William and Mary, Richmond, Villanova, James Madison, Delaware, UMass, and Old Dominion.
Few FBS teams, one who was in the playoffs last year.
That's seven schools. I don't know if I'm missing anybody. I don't know if James Madison may not have been in the league that year, but they certainly were a CAA team and a strong CAA team for a long time. But just kind of remarkable how basically the league has turned over 50% in 15 years. As again, things have changed so much in college football.
There's been such a drastic just change across the entire landscape, FBS and FCS, from all kinds of I wonder, like, what conference today looks the most like it did 15 years ago?
Oh, God.
It's got to be the SEC because they've only made additions to it. No one's left them. But other than that, I mean, other than the SEC and the Big Ten, pretty much everyone else. ACC hasn't had as much movement, but the Big 12 certainly has.
Big 12 certainly has. ACC hasn't had
Pac-10 barely exists now. It's coming back.
Yeah, they have like 4 teams last year.
But even at the FCS level, like, those conferences are always in flux.
Well, I mean, FCS is kind of funny because it costs a lot of money to put an FCS
it
team out there just as it does an FBS team, but you don't have the television contracts in the FCS, and so you've got like UMass. I mean, they should be an FCS team.
Yeah.
But they have absorbed the abuse that comes with being awful in the FBS because of trying to get into a conference that provides some money on the return investment, either via television contract or bowl possibilities, because there's a lot of bowls. There's like almost, I think, around 30 bowls, give or take 2 or 3, and then get some of that money. James Madison's gone that way. Old Dominion's gone that way.
Delaware, you mentioned in
Delaware's
that group
another one that's gone that way. I think William and Mary, Richmond, and Villanova maybe.
They just went to a different conference, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Some of them did, but it was just, again, for all kinds of reasons. And then we've had a lot of these schools that have gone up from D2 to 1AA, so to speak, in terms of the FCS. And, things change a lot. It's just kind of remarkable to look at the league now, and what I remember, like you said, a decade ago, and it's like you look at the bottom of the league. I read them off, and Campbell, Bryant, Sacred Heart, Albany, I think NCA&T, and Hampton. I think the only one I remember from a decade ago was probably Bryant, maybe.
And they would have been kind of new on the scene at that point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But gives Maine a chance. Maine's got again, it's a rugged first 5 games of the season. Things survive that in some sort of way, then they got a chance to have a season, have a good season. But it's not going to be easy. Again, the couple of road games to start, and then a home game against Merrimack, and then BC and Elon. BC, FBS, and Elon, one of the highly touted teams in the conference this year.
Yeah, I mean, that start to the season is so crucial. Because just think about last year where it seemed like they were dead in the water and then pulled off what the Red Sox are doing this year of just rattling off all those wins to have a good year and be able to salvage it in the middle of the season. Going back to a stat that I put out there, kind of butchered in the first hour, I was able to find it going through my archives in my phone to a screenshot from last June, so I had to correct the math a little bit. But when we were talking about how math and our concept for numbers just kind of, the scale breaks at a certain point when we were talking about trillions of dollars for the number that you would have had if you bet $10 on Joshua Baez to hit 3 homers in his first 3 at-bats, or the difference between Robert Kraft coming to the table with $12.5 billion and Christian Gonzalez asking for, even if it's $150 million, what the difference in those figures are. 1 million seconds ago was 11 days and 13 hours ago. So that was like August 6th, some point on August 6th. 1 billion seconds ago, you go from 11 days to 31 years and 8 months ago.
Wow.
So 1 million seconds ago was August 6th. 1 billion seconds ago was December of 1994.
And then multiply that by 12, and I'm not asking you to do that, but...
And then you go from 1 billion to 1 trillion. 1 trillion seconds was 31,688 years ago, a.k.a. 29,662 BC. So 1 million seconds ago was 11 days ago. 1 trillion seconds ago was roughly 30,000 years ago.
Yeah. These numbers, I mean, at a certain
doesn't
point,
make sense.
They don't mean anything because they're so outlandish and far off that. But the concept of the
just how much it compounds,
vastness
the bigger it gets,
of the difference is just mind-boggling.
It is it's frightening out there. But again, Bobby, you got the cash to burn.
Yes, that's right.
Send it Christian's way.
Somebody's going to spend it.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Before we wrap this segment, we should mention that local sports kicking off as well today, too, because the fall season officially underway after the 2-week hands-off period. We're now into preseason for soccer, boys and girls, football, field hockey, you name it.
Yeah, eventually the games start that first weekend in September, other than plenty of scrimmages and exhibition games in all sports, really. Yep. But probably a little disappointing that the weather was not as good as it could. I mean, I don't know if it got better. I haven't been able to, we don't have a window that looks outside here anymore, so I can't tell you if it's raining out here outside of our studio. But it was raining where I was this morning. Yep. And pretty heavy at times, so it takes a little bit of the day away, other than what you can get accomplished in the gymnasium, and they serve gymnasium service well in the winter and with the spring sports, really, as programs are used to having early practices in the spring indoors. But I'm sure they're itching to get outside if they weren't able to today.
Oh, no doubt about that. Back at it, and like you said last hour, that means that school is right around the corner, ready to smack some kids upside the head.
Yeah, and we're back at it with Ticket TV, a slate of football and soccer games coming up this, the late summer and fall.
2 weeks from Wednesday night, right?
Thursday night. 2 weeks from Thursday. We have back-to-back games on Thursday and Friday. On Thursday, we have a rivalry game, Orono and Old Town, although it'll be an 8-man, as Old Town has joined Orono in the 8-man ranks this year, 8-player ranks this year. Then on Friday, it's two of the better teams perennially in Class C, particularly of recent vintage, and that's the Herman Hawks hosting the Foxcroft Academy Ponies. That's coming on Friday night. We will have more Thursday night games this year. I don't know how many we'll wind up having, but because of the paucity of officials to do the games, they've kind of had to spread the schedule out each week more among 3 nights and days. Thursday night, Friday night and Saturday during the day. So they've had to spread them out a little bit more because, I mean, we've got a healthy number of teams, 79 teams statewide, and they include players from over 100 different schools, which kind of shows you it's grown, and it's, you know, a lot of teams don't have quite as many players as they used to, but when you combine them, more schools are being represented, which is kind of cool. But because of that, there are basically 39 games probably about every weekend. That's 78, right? So one team with a bye somewhere along the trail. So that's when you multiply 39 times 5, that's almost 200 officials that are needed. Oh, actually, you'd have half that. You'd have that many games. There's a lot of officials that are needed, but I figure I can kind of go under the radar with math here after you just
after we're talking millions and billions and trillions.
Sure, you don't need billions of officials, but we need officials.
Couple hundred.
You need good officials.
Couple hundred dates. Yeah, and it is. It's tough. It's definitely a need out there, as you hear our PSA that we're advertising. If you want to get in on the game, head on down to the Cohen School. They've got the classes coming up here over the final weeks of August for you to get involved with. And, I mean, the other part of it that isn't said as much, but it's not a bad paycheck. Not a bad extra gig. It's not. Extra money on the side coming your way. I
officiated basketball for 12 years until my real job got in the way, and I enjoyed it. I actually liked it a lot. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's not just football. It's pretty much every sport is in need of officials. So if you have an interest in any sports, just check with your local school, check with the AD there, and they can probably get you in contact with the right person for the right sport. But in football in this area, Tim Kenny's the man to see, and we run the ad fairly frequently.
Yeah, once a show at least. So.
Yeah, so you can just catch that and get the number there to call and reach out to Tim.
Well, the NFL is coming at you this week. What is it? Wednesday through Monday nights. Ticket TV, we're extending to Thursdays and Saturdays with some football action this fall as well. The Pigskin Takeover at the NFL level and on Ticket TV.
Oh, wow.
The Drive brought to you by Northeast Driving School. They've been the leader in driver training for 57 years. Register today for driver's ed courses at Greater Bangor's #1 driving school. Call 942-1769 or register at northeastdrivingschool.com. Also brought to you by Acadia Federal Credit Union, their newest location, open just up the road from us on Wilson Street in Brewer. Serving Maine since 1963 with branches in Bangor, Brewer, and Aroostook County. Learn more at acadiafcu.org. The Drive also brought to you by Dunnett's Appliance and Service. Of course, they sponsor our Red Sox ticket sweepstakes. We got a couple more names in the bucket in the first hour. Now, I realize that I am teeing up a cue to call as I'm talking about the Red Sox sweepstakes, so I might be generous and take a few along those lines. What I also have to tee up is we got a pair of Zach Top tickets to give away to the Waterfront concert coming up on August 22nd. So dial us up, 992-9029. I'll say caller number 3 there gets the tickets, because as far as I know, his last name is T.O.P. Might be a double P. I might be going off the rails here, but I'm going to say caller number 3 in honor of the popular spelling of Top.
All right.
And everybody around it, we throw you into the Red Sox competition to make you happy, too.
Oh, there you go. Nice. And now, again, I'm an old man, so Zach Top is country.
Yes. Okay. That is the extent of my knowledge on the subject, so I can't answer any more questions.
Country music has changed a lot, too. Everything has changed, because I was trying to find the station I wanted to listen to this morning, and I came across another station. It was a country station, and it was Shabuzi followed by Jelly Roll.
A little different style these days.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting a little rap or something, but I mean, I'm familiar with Jelly Roll because he's been on TV all the time and lost all that weight and everything, and a
little more poppy, a little more rappy than the classic country.
Shabuzi, I was not quite as familiar with. Still not familiar with it.
That will do it for this segment. Again, you want Red Sox tickets, the chance to win Red Sox tickets, I should say. Call us up right now. You want Zach Top tickets, be caller number 3, 992-9029. Back with more of The Drive right after this. Back into the Greenway Equipment Studios for the penultimate time on today's edition of The Drive. One more break and buzzer beaters on the other side of this segment. But right now, time to tell you about Dean's Detailing, the leader in auto detailing for over 55 years. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your auto investment, look good and feel good in a clean, shiny car, and book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. Make sure to start your morning at Goslin's Bakery, 334 Harlow Street in Bangor. Grab a breakfast sandwich on an English muffin or croissant, plus legendary donuts and pastries made since 1945. Some news here from a friend of the show, Bob Nightingale, veteran, longtime MLB reporter, who says that, look out, Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, you better get the Phillies to the World Series at a minimum, if not win the Fall Classic, or else Alex Cora is coming to town to take your job next year, who didn't want it when Rob Thompson was fired earlier this season, but apparently wants it now.
I think he wanted it back then. He just didn't want it this season.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of pre-negotiated back last spring after he was fired, and then the Phillies had a
days later
vacancy.
Hours later, almost.
Phillies got off to a hot start under Mattingly, and they're still in the mix playoff-wise, but it's a pretty congested field in the National League as it is in the American League, and probably he is coaching for his job in terms of Mattingly, who has been kind of like a coach, but not a manager for a long time. So he was one of those guys you didn't necessarily know was ever going to get his chance, and finally did. His son is like the assistant general manager, too.
Oh, really?
For the Phillies, yeah, which is
Sam Folds' assistant.
Kind of interesting. Yeah, indeed. So
he's a guy who's had decent enough success both in Miami and with the Dodgers, but never just got that run out or the opportunity.
No, I mean, and this is probably a situation that would fit Alex Cora, where he's not having to deal with
superstar lineup,
20 young guys. He's already got there are expectations, as he found out with the Red Sox, but he's got
Dombro above him. He's got the lineup of stars.
So they've got a lineup of stars. They're gonna go get another one if they can outbid the Dodgers.
Yep.
So that doesn't surprise me in the least.
And as for Cora's former boss, if you missed it last week, Jeff Bezos and a consortium, he put together a consortium to acquire a 1/3 stake in Liverpool from FSG and John Henry that was valued at roughly $2 billion. Now, according to CNBC, the deal that was signed late last week also contains language that should Bezos and that consortium want to get the controlling ownership stake over the next 12 months, they can do so. They just have to fork over an $8 billion price point to get there. So they acquired 1/3 of the ownership stake in Liverpool. They can buy it over the next 12 months for $8 billion should they choose. The important note here is that it seems to be a Liverpool-only acquisition. This is not part of FSG.
Right.
This is just the soccer club, because Sam Kennedy went on WEEI last week and said, quote, John Henry, Linda Henry, Henry family are never selling the Boston Red Sox, and that's a soundbite you can play forevermore. I'd bet anything on that, unquote.
Okay, well, I guess that answers a lot of questions to people that were wearing bags over their heads at Fenway Park back in April, right? I think I remember sell the team or sell the Sox. I don't know what the exact phraseology of the chant was, but it was quite
there's still the crown
vocal.
There's still the crown jewel of the FSG portfolio, valued at about $6.6 billion. Liverpool just behind him at $6 billion. Of course, they can be sold here for $8 billion, which would up that valuation a little bit. But it sounds like the Henrys, according to Kennedy, their bestest boy and lead puppet.
Yeah.
That's the one they're most invested in. At least the heartstrings that lead to the purse strings at the other end.
So if they have another bad start next year, just keep the paper bags in the closet, because you won't need it and they won't do any good. He's not selling.
He's figured out that it's a decent ATM for as expensive as it is, as he likes to say, to run a baseball team. It's also worked out well for his bottom line and his back pocket.
Well, he's gotten away with it without having to build a stadium.
Yeah, he's got that too. And now he kind of owns the entire real estate around Fenway.
Fix it up, a little green paint now and then, and that seems to
actually
carry over.
Along those lines, I was just reading a story out of I don't know if it was a Boston paper or Boston website over the weekend, but Craig Breslow and company, the front office, is moving out of Fenway to a building somewhere around that former Yawkey Way, now Jersey Street complex, and they're looking to acquire more buildings to get more of the baseball operation out of Fenway and into other places. So they've got a little Fenway City going on around the park.
Well, I'm sure they want to have a piece of the building that overlooks the Green Monster, so they can look down on the peons from on high, you know.
I am surprised they haven't tried to get in on like the Wrigleyville action of throwing bleachers on the top of the building on Lansdowne Street and stuff like that.
Think how much they could charge for those, huh?
Come on, Johnny. You should be listening to the program. We got great ideas here.
Yeah, well, this is for a small cut. You can take our idea and run with it.
The Drive, brought to you by Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience. We're back after this with Buzzer Beaters. Buzzer Beater time here, wrapping up this Monday edition of The Drive. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon as well. Myself and Jim Churchill right here in the Greenway Equipment Studios. We'll be joined by Chris Cameron, Sea Dog's Vice President, Head of Communications and Fan Experience, because the Roman Anthony rolling back through Hadlock Field, starting the Roman Anthony. The Roman Empire is what I meant to say. The Roman Anthony rolling back through Hadlock tomorrow night.
We just want to keep him healthy.
Yeah.
While he's in Portland.
Just keep him healthy.
Boy. Congratulations to the Sanford Mainers, New England Collegiate Baseball League.
Yeah.
It's a summer college league. They won the championship.
Nice.
For the first time in a while. Had to go 3 games to do it in the final series over, oh boy, I can't remember the team now they'd played. But
fair amount of local kids, right?
Well, a couple local kids. Is Albert De La Rosa, who plays for the University of Maine.
Yep.
Is on that team playing some shortstop. And Gabe Gifford from Bradley and Old Town High School, and more recently from the University of Maine and now the University of Southern Maine. Came on to get a 4-inning save in the championship game.
Very nice.
Shutout baseball there for him as the Mainers. I'd like to get down there sometime and see a game. Goodall Park is one of like the historic
is that
old
still
parks.
Where
Oh
they're at?
God, yeah.
Nice.
And it's a lot of history to that place and to the league. So congratulations to them.
There we go. Tune in to the Morning Roast tomorrow morning, 6 to 8 a.m. Brian, Tyler, and Marcus in the studio. We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon.